There's a new report out this morning suggesting Atlantic Canada could become a world leader in offshore wind power. And that could go a long way in helping Canada eliminate its greenhouse gas emissions. Nicola Seguin with the details of the story.
The report paints an exciting picture of what offshore wind power could look like in Canada. And it lays out the potential for the Atlantic provinces, saying they could become a major center for this kind of development. Several areas off the Atlantic coast, including the Gulf of St. Lawrence, seem promising, but the most ideal locations are in an area of relatively shallow and ice-free water near the famous Sable Island. Right now, Canada doesn't have a single offshore turbine in operation or even under construction, even though it has some of the longest and windiest coastlines in the world. The report says nearly 30 countries are ahead of us. Now, offshore wind power in Canada has been studied in the past. That part isn't new. What's new about this report is a recognition of the sheer scale and scope of this opportunity. Here's the author of the report.
The decarbonization of the world energy system and of the Canadian energy system is simply the biggest project that humans have ever undertaken. And people have to get their minds around how big this is, and if you're serious about it, you have to think big.
Nicholson says if we installed around 1,000 offshore turbines in the waters off Nova Scotia, they could supply power to 6.5 million Canadian homes. But it's still a long road to get there. He says the next step is to start expert and public discussions on the concept, including on policy and engineering assessments. Once governments get on board, companies are expected to follow suit. That's where the capital needed to take on these projects would come from. The bottom line of the report, Canada needs to act now so we can ride this global wave and not be left behind. Nicola Seguin, CBC News, Halifax.